Here are the top 20 most streamed African artists of 2026. Coming in at number 20 is Ckay from Nigeria. At 30 years old, he recorded 183 million streams. Number 19 is Black Sherif from Ghana. At just 24 years old, he recorded 185.8 million streams. At number 18, BNXN from Nigeria, aged 29, with 198.7 million streams. Number 17 is Fireboy DML from Nigeria. At 29 years old, he amassed 226.3 million streams. At number 16, South Africa's Wiz the MC, aged 26, with 233.4 million streams. Number 15 is Mayerkun from Nigeria. At 31 years old, he recorded 263 million streams. At number 14, Egypt's Shireen, aged 45, with 270 million streams. Number 13 is South African rock band Seether, with 282.1 million streams. At number 12, Davido from Nigeria. At 33 years old, he recorded 322.5 million streams. Number 11 is Fola from Nigeria. At 24 years old, he reached 329.3 million streams. Breaking into the top 10, Omole, aged 28, with 375.7 million streams. Number 9 is Seyi Vibez from Nigeria. At 24 years old, he recorded 391 million streams. At number 8, Egypt's legendary Mr Diab, aged 64, with 415 million streams. Number 7 is Rema from Nigeria. At 25 years old, he reached 453.6 million streams. At number 6, Ira Star, aged 24, with 483.9 million streams. Entering the top 5, Burna Boy, aged 34, with 641.7 million streams. Number 4 is Asake from Nigeria. At 31 years old, he recorded 643.1 million streams. At number 3, Wizkid, aged 35, with 696.1 million streams. The runner-up is South Africa's Tyla. At just 24 years old, she amassed 755.6 million streams. And the most streamed African artist of 2026 is Tems from Nigeria. At 31 years old, she dominated the continent with an incredible 1.02 billion streams. Did your favorite artist make the list? Let me know in the comments.